My parents told me they didn't have the money to take me on vacation, but then I spotted my sister's kids flying first class. I stayed quiet, but trust me, karma caught up with them a week later. In the tidy suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina, where white picket fences frame dreams of suburban bliss, Ethan Caldwell, 32, lived a life of quiet sacrifice. Ethan was not the golden child of the Caldwell family. That title belonged to his older sister, Olivia, 38, the radiant star who dazzled at every family gathering. Olivia was the perfect daughter, the devoted wife, the doting mother to Mia, 10, and Noah, 8. Their parents, Margaret and Robert, showered her with praise, their voices warm with pride as they recounted her triumphs. Ethan, though, was just there, the dependable one, the invisible anchor holding the family afloat amidst their endless financial storms. Ethan worked as an accountant at a bustling downtown firm, his days a blur of spreadsheets and deadlines. His modest savings were a testament to years of frugality, but comfort came at a steep cost. Since his early 20s, Ethan had been the family's unofficial bank, always ready to bail them out. It began innocently enough. "Ethan, honey, can you cover the electric bill?" Margaret had pleaded when he was 23, fresh from college. "Your dad's hours got cut." Eager to please, Ethan handed over $200 without hesitation. Then Olivia's requests followed. "Mia needs dance lessons, Ethan." She'd sigh over the phone, her voice dripping with calculated need. "You're doing so well, little brother." So Ethan paid, for braces, car repairs, even a new roof for his parents' aging home. "You're so lucky, Ethan," Margaret would coo, her smile hollow. "No wife, no kids, no real responsibilities like Olivia." Lucky. The word stung, but Ethan swallowed it, convincing himself it was what families did. Deep down, he nursed a dream, a burning desire to travel the world. He pored over travel magazines, heart racing at images of Santorini's cliffs and Tokyo's neon streets. He saved diligently, but each time he neared his goal, a family crisis intervened. A sudden medical bill, a critical repair, or Olivia's guilt-soaked pleas. His dreams were perpetually deferred, his savings siphoned to prop up the family he loved but who never seemed to love him back. One humid summer night, Ethan reached his breaking point. At 32, he deserved something for himself. He booked a solo trip to Greece, 10 days through Athens and the Cyclades, every cent from his own pocket. He told no one, not out of secrecy, but because he knew they wouldn't care. It was his first act of rebellion, a defiant claim to his own life. Clicking confirm on the booking, a surge of exhilaration washed over him. For once, Ethan felt alive, but fate had a cruel twist in store. 2 weeks later, at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, Ethan stood in the chaotic economy boarding line, his backpack heavy with anticipation. The hum of travelers filled the air, a symphony of excitement. Then a familiar voice sliced through. "Noah, put your tablet down. First class has plenty of room." It was Olivia. Ethan's heart lurched. He turned to see his entire family, Olivia, Greg, Mia, Noah, Margaret, and Robert, in the priority boarding line, decked out in matching tropical shirts, laughing and relaxed. His breath caught, his mind reeling. First class? MSO. They'd sworn they couldn't afford a family vacation, yet here they were, basking in luxury. Ethan watched, frozen as Margaret adjusted her sunglasses and chuckled. "I feel awful we couldn't bring Ethan." Olivia snorted, "Oh, please, Mom. He'd cramp our style. Can you imagine him up here?" They laughed, the sound piercing Ethan's chest like shards of glass. Robert chimed in, "Kid's too busy working anyway." More laughter. Ethan's vision blurred, not with tears but with a searing, unfamiliar anger. He wanted to scream, to demand answers, but a cold realization stopped him. They didn't just exclude him, they mocked him. To them, Ethan was a utility, a punchline. As the attendant called their group, he turned away, jaw tight, and boarded his economy flight in silence. Inside, a fire ignited. Something had shifted. Ethan Caldwell was done being the fool. He boarded the plane to Athens, the pebble of his resolve forming. Greece would be more than a trip, it would be his awakening. The Caldwells had underestimated him, but they'd soon learn what life without their anchor meant. Ethan Caldwell landed in Athens under a sky ablaze with dawn's golden hues, but his heart was a tempest of betrayal. The airport scene, his family's first-class laughter, he'd cramp our style, burned in his mind, each word a fresh wound. At 32, Ethan had spent a decade as the Caldwell family's unsung savior, only to discover he was their joke. Yet, as he stepped onto Greek soil, a flicker of defiance sparked. This trip, his rebellion, was his chance to reclaim his life. Athens was a sensory feast, olive oil's tang, baklava's sweetness, ancient ruins dwarfing modern streets. Ethan's itinerary was tight, 3 days in Athens, then ferries to Santorini and Mykonos. He'd planned every detail, his accountant's precision ensuring efficiency, but the pain of his family's mockery lingered, threatening to dim his excitement. That first evening he wandered into a Plaka Taverna, its fairy lights and folk music a balm. Ordering ouzo and souvlaki, he sat alone, watching the world. A woman caught his eye. Early 30s, sun-kissed, dark curls cascading over a journal. Her vibrant energy drew him in. She noticed his stare and grinned. "You look like you're carrying the Parthenon," she said, her southern drawl warm. "First time in Greece?" Yeah," Ethan stammered. "That obvious?" "A little," she laughed. "I'm Lena from Savannah. You?" "Ethan Charlotte." He hesitated, then added, "Just processing." Lena slid into his table's chair, uninvited but welcome. "Processing's code for something's eating you. Spill it." The ouzo and her directness loosened Ethan's tongue. He poured out his story. Years of bailing out his parents' bills, Olivia's kids' expenses, his deferred dreams, and the airport betrayal. His voice cracked, hands trembling by the end. Lena listened, her playfulness yielding to empathy. "Damn, Ethan, that's brutal. Your family deserves a desert island with no Wi-Fi." He chuckled, the first real laugh since the airport. "I'm done with them. No more handouts." "Good," Lena said fiercely. "This trip's your rebirth. You're not their ATM. You're Ethan Caldwell about to live huge." Her words struck like lightning. A rebirth. It felt thrilling, terrifying. "I don't know what that looks like," he admitted. Lena flipped open her journal, revealing sketches and itineraries. "Let's find out. I'm island hopping for 2 weeks. Join me for a day. No plans, just Greece. Deal?" Ethan, ever cautious, hesitated, but Lena's energy was infectious. "One day," he agreed, "but if you're a serial killer, I'm out." "Yamas," she toasted, clinking glasses. The next morning, they met at his hotel near Monastiraki Square. Lena, in a sundress and hat, led him to the Acropolis. "We're not tourists," she declared. "We're feeling this place's soul." As they climbed, her tales of gods and philosophers captivated him. At the Parthenon, she pulled him to an overlook, Athens sprawling below. "Close your eyes," she said. "Breathe. You're here, Ethan. This is yours." He did, the breeze easing his pain. "Thank you," he said, eyes opening. "I was drowning." "I've been there," Lena replied. "Someone pulled me out once. My turn." Over lunch, Ethan learned Lena was a freelance writer traveling to document resilience. Her own family, divorced parents, and addict brother had drained her until she cut them off. "Hardest thing I did," she said, "but it saved me." Her story resonated, planting seeds of radical change in Ethan's mind. That evening, they joined travelers for a sunset boat ride. Ethan, spurred by Lena, shared his travel dreams and betrayal, earning nods from strangers. An Australian woman, Claire, squeezed his arm. "Families can be cages, love. You're free now." Lena gave him a beach pebble. "When you doubt, hold this. Remember this night." "Why help me?" Ethan asked later. "I see you," Lena said. "Not their tool, the guy who'll soar." Ethan extended his Athens stay, joining Lena for flea markets, festivals, and late-night souvlaki. Each adventure chipped at his walls. He laughed freer, dreamed bigger. At night, though, the airport scene haunted him. Olivia's snort, Margaret's pity. The pebble anchored him, a reminder of his worth. On his last Athens day, Margaret texted, "Hey, sweetie, call me?" Ethan's stomach churned. Lena at a cafe saw his tension. "Family drama?" He showed her. "They don't miss me, just my wallet." "Don't answer," Lena urged. "You're not their fix." "What if it's serious?" Ethan wavered. "They've played you for years," Lena said. "You owe them nothing." Her words steadied him. He silenced his phone, smiling. "You're right, I'm done." As he boarded the Santorini ferry, Ethan felt lighter. Greece had awakened a hunger for self-discovery. Lena would meet him in Mykonos, but back in Charlotte, the Caldwells were unraveling. Ethan's silence was a bomb, and the explosion was coming. Ethan Caldwell returned to Charlotte, the humid air a stark contrast to Greece's breezy freedom. His 10-day odyssey, Athens' ruins, Santorini's cliffs, and Lena's fierce wisdom had transformed him. The pebble in his pocket, a gift from their Athenian night, grounded him against the pain of his family's betrayal. The airport scene, Margaret, Robert, Olivia, Greg, Mia, and Noah in first class laughing at his exclusion, had shattered his role as their invisible anchor. At 32, Ethan was done bankrolling their lives, but Charlotte was a battlefield, and the Caldwells were ready to fight for their lifeline. His phone buzzed in the airport parking lot. "Margaret, welcome home, sweetie. Call me. Love you." The words were saccharine, a prelude to a favor. Ethan ignored it, Lena's voice echoing, "You're not their ATM." His apartment, once a stark reminder of his sacrifices, felt like a sanctuary. He sank onto the couch, the pebble in hand. Greece had shown him who he could be, a man with dreams, not a doormat. But the Caldwell's shadow loomed, their desperation a ticking clock. The calls began at dawn. Margaret's voice was overly cheerful. "Ethan, how was Greece? Tell me." He kept it short. "Great. Busy day. Mom." She pressed, "We're tight this month. Groceries. Can you help?" Ethan's jaw tightened. "Groceries? Like the ones from your Bahamas trip?" Silence. Then a nervous laugh. "That was different, honey. Airline miles." "Don't," Ethan snapped. "I saw you, Mom, laughing about how I wouldn't fit in. I'm done." Her voice cracked. "Sweetheart, we'd have taken you." "You could," he said coldly. "You didn't want to. Figure it out." He hung up, heart pounding. The silence was liberating. By noon, Olivia called. "What's your deal, Ethan?" she snapped. "Mom's freaking out because you yelled at her." "I saw you in first class," Ethan retorted. "Must have been nice." "Oh my God, are you serious?" Olivia scoffed. "It was one trip. Grow up." "Grow up?" Ethan's voice rose. "I've paid for your kids, Mom's bills, your car, while you laughed at me. I'm done." Her tone softened, manipulative. "Ethan, you know how hard it is for us. You don't have kids. It's different." "Different?" He laughed bitterly. "I bankrolled your life. Not anymore." "You're serious," Olivia hissed. "You'll let Mom and Dad sink. Pathetic." She hung up, but Ethan felt free. Her venom only fueled him. The guilt trips escalated. Margaret called again, pleading, then accusing. "We're family, Ethan. You're breaking my heart." Robert left a voicemail. "Son, don't be dramatic. Call your mother." Mia texted, likely coached. "Uncle Ethan, why are you mad? We miss you." It stung, but Ethan saw the ploy and stayed silent. Greg's call surprised him. "Ethan, can I come by?" he asked, weary. Ethan agreed, curious. Greg arrived, looking haunted. "I didn't know how much you did," he said. "Olivia never told me. Your parents' bills, the kids' stuff. I thought it was small. I'm sorry." "You didn't notice?" Ethan asked, skeptical. I'm bad with numbers, Greg admitted. Olivia said you were helping, not this. That airport thing was messed up. I should have spoken up. His apology softened Ethan, but only slightly. Why are you here? Ethan asked. It's falling apart, Greg said. Your parents are 2 months behind on their mortgage. Olivia's covering it, but our savings are gone. I'm working doubles, but it's not enough. They think you'll cave, but I heard you. I don't blame you. Ethan's chest tightened. Duty tugged, but Lena's words held firm. You owe them nothing. I'm not bailing them out, he said. They chose this. Greg nodded. I figured Olivia's planning a fundraiser to save the family. It's a mess. Just watch out. The warning lingered. Ethan pictured Olivia rallying the neighborhood, spinning lies to save face. He started small rebellions, a new coffee machine, vibrant wall art, a photography class inspired by Lena. Each was a step toward a life for himself. But at night, the airport scene replayed, Olivia's snort, Margaret's pity, stoking his resolve. Kelly, a friend, texted about Olivia's fundraiser flyer, Caldwell Family Fundraiser, Save Their Home. Ethan's absence from it stung. Kelly added, People are saying you're abandoning them. You okay? Ethan replied, I'm fine. They're reaping what they sowed. But the neighborhood's whispers, calling him heartless, gnawed at him. Olivia's narrative was spreading, and Ethan braced for the next blow. Charlotte's autumn air hinted at change, mirroring Ethan Caldwell's transformation. At 32, he was no longer the Caldwell family's invisible anchor. Greece, its ruins, seas, and Lena's fierce wisdom had awakened him. The pebble in his pocket, a token from their Athenian night, anchored him against his family's betrayal. The airport scene, Margaret, Robert, Olivia, Greg, Mia, and Noah in first class mocking him, had exposed their truth. Ethan was a wallet, not family. Months after cutting them off, he was building a life for himself, each choice a defiance of their lies. But the Caldwells were collapsing, their facade crumbling without his support. Olivia's fundraiser, a desperate bid to save the family, had backfired, exposing their hypocrisy. Margaret and Robert faced foreclosure, their home a casualty of reckless spending. Olivia drained her savings, her marriage to Greg cracking. Greg, remorseful, had warned Ethan of the fundraiser's chaos, and neighborhood gossip confirmed it. Olivia's lies unraveled, turning the community against them. Ethan watched from afar, a mix of vindication and detachment. They'd lived large on his dime. Now they faced the reckoning. Ethan's life was blossoming. He splurged on a coffee machine, hung Greek photos, and joined a photography class inspired by Lena. He mentored teens at the community center, finding purpose. His travel blog, Wander Free, gained followers, his Greece posts resonating. He booked a Japan trip, a childhood dream. Mrs. Henderson, the teacher who'd challenged Olivia, rallied neighbors to support Ethan, their kindness a balm. Yet Olivia's venomous words, "You'll be alone," echoed in quiet moments. Kelly warned him Olivia was planning a public confrontation at the fall festival, painting him as the villain. Ethan knew he had to face her, not for them, but to close this chapter. The fundraiser's fallout dominated gossip. Kelly's live stream showed Olivia's speech imploding. "We're losing our home," she'd cried, clutching a tissue. "We need your help." But Mr. Patel, a local business owner, questioned her Bahamas trip. "First class? How's that a crisis?" Olivia stammered, "We used miles." But Mrs. Henderson pressed, "Where's Ethan? He's paid your bills for years." The crowd turned, donations dried up, and the event raised pennies. Olivia's perfect image shattered, the neighborhood seeing her lies. Kelly called Ethan, buzzing. "Olivia's humiliated. People know you've been their bank. They're pissed she dragged you. Mrs. Henderson's checking on you." Ethan's throat tightened. "Thanks, Kelly, I'm good." But Olivia's Facebook post, a sob story about his betrayal, fueled drama. Neighbors called her out. Where was Ethan's invite to your trip? And she deleted it, isolated. Olivia appeared at Ethan's apartment, furious. "You've ruined us," she hissed, storming in. "Mom's a wreck, Dad's not sleeping, and the neighborhood thinks we're frauds." "Your fundraiser did that," Ethan shot back. "You lied to everyone." "You could fix this," Olivia snapped, "but you're too selfish." "Selfish?" Ethan's anger flared. "I paid for your kids, Mom's mortgage, your car, while you laughed in first class. You mocked me, Olivia. I'm done." Her bravado faltered. "We didn't mean to hurt you. We need you." "You need my money," Ethan said. "That's all I was, not anymore." Olivia's voice turned icy. "When Mom and Dad lose their house, that's on you. You'll regret this." She stormed out, slamming the door. Ethan stood firm, her threat hollow. He wasn't alone. He had Lena, the community himself. Lena in Istanbul bolstered him via call. "They built this mess," she said. "You're not their savior." Ethan confessed, "Mia and Noah are caught in this." Lena softened. "Kids are resilient. You'll drown if you go back. Stay strong." Her words anchored him. "Photography's great," he said. "Japan's next." "That's my guy," Lena cheered. "Keep shining." The Caldwells unraveled faster. Kelly sent screenshots. Olivia's posts backfired, neighbors shunning her. Greg moved out with the kids, their house for sale. The SUV was repossessed, Margaret sold jewelry, Robert worked nights. Ethan felt a flicker of pity, but not enough to waver. They'd underestimated him, and now they were learning. Mrs. Henderson in his photography class apologized. "We bought their story too long. You're a good man, Ethan." Her words hit deep. "Thank you," he said. "This community's got your back," she added. The support, unasked for, healed him. He wasn't Olivia's villain. He was Ethan, reclaiming his life. Margaret's final voicemail pleaded, "The bank's talking foreclosure. Help us." Ethan deleted it, guilt fading. His blog grew, his mentorship thrived, Japan loomed. But Olivia's festival plan, a public shaming, loomed larger, a final test of his resolve. Charlotte's fall air carried renewal, echoing Ethan Caldwell's transformation. At 32, he'd shed the role of the Caldwell family's invisible anchor. Greece, its seas, ruins, and Lena's wisdom, had ignited his freedom. The pebble in his pocket from their Athenian night symbolized his strength. The airport betrayal, Margaret, Robert, Olivia, Greg, Mia, and Noah mocking him in first class, had revealed their truth. Ethan was a wallet, not family. Months after cutting them off, he was thriving, his life a testament to his worth. The Caldwells, though, were collapsing, their lies exposed by Olivia's failed fundraiser. Now she planned a final strike, a public shaming at the fall festival, to force Ethan's hand. Ethan's world was vibrant, his wander-free blog soared, Greece photos inspiring thousands. He mentored teens at the community center, his photography class a joy. He'd booked Japan, a childhood dream. Mrs. Henderson and neighbors rallied behind him, their support healing the wounds of Olivia's lies. Yet her threat, "You'll be alone," lingered, and Kelly's warning about the festival confrontation loomed. Ethan chose to face it, not for them, but to end this chapter for himself. The fall festival buzzed with kettle corn and fairy lights, families laughing under Charlotte's stars. Ethan arrived, the pebble in hand, heart steady. Mrs. Henderson hugged him. "We're with you," she said. Olivia stood by the stage, her face a mask of fury, flanked by Margaret, Robert, and Greg with Mia and Noah. Greg's eyes met Ethan's, heavy with shame. As the band finished, Olivia grabbed the microphone, voice trembling. "I'm here to share a painful truth," she said. "We're losing our home because of my brother, Ethan Caldwell. He's turned his back on us, letting his parents and niece and nephew suffer." The crowd gasped, eyes on Ethan. He stood calm, arms crossed. Mrs. Henderson shouted, "Enough, Olivia!" "You don't get to lie," Olivia pressed on. "He's abandoned us." "Abandoned?" Ethan's voice boomed, stepping forward. Let's talk abandonment. Bahamas, first class, all of you laughing about how I wouldn't fit in. I saw you. Murmurs spread. Olivia's face paled. That's not fair. It was one trip. One trip? Ethan laughed raw. 10 years, Olivia. I paid your kids' fees, mom's mortgage, your car, while you mocked me. I was never family, just your ATM. I'm done. Margaret sobbed. Ethan, we love you. Love? Ethan cut in, eyes blazing. Love doesn't mock. Love doesn't use. You needed my money, not me. Robert looked away. Greg shifted. Mia cried. Ethan softened but held firm. You chose this. Live with it. Olivia's voice cracked. You'll regret this. We'll be fine without you. Fine? Mr. Patel called. You've lived off Ethan for years. You're not victims. You're leeches. The crowd roared. Shame on you. Olivia dropped the microphone, tears streaming. Margaret clung to Robert. Greg led the kids away. The Caldwells left in disgrace, their facade dust. Social media exploded. Kelly's video of Ethan's stand going viral. Justice for Ethan trended. Comments praising him. Hero! They didn't deserve you. The Caldwells' downfall was brutal. Margaret and Robert lost their home, moving to a tiny apartment. Olivia and Greg sold their house, renting a modest place, their marriage frayed. Mia and Noah switched schools, the neighborhood shunning them. Ethan soared. His blog landed a sponsorship. His mentorship grew. Japan neared. Lena visited, their reunion joyful. You rewrote your story, she said, toasting him. Greg sent a letter. I'm sorry. Olivia's in therapy. The kids miss you. Be happy. With it, Mia and Noah's drawings. Stick figure Ethan's with hearts. Ethan kept them, bittersweet, but didn't reply. He blocked his family's numbers, their voices gone. The pebble stayed, his strength's symbol. Mrs. Henderson invited him to Thanksgiving, the community, his new family. Ethan wasn't the forgotten son. He was Ethan Caldwell, traveler, mentor, free. On his balcony, Charlotte's skyline aglow, Ethan held the pebble. Thank you, Lena, he whispered. He stepped inside, closing the door on the past. His future was infinite. Hey, everyone, thanks for diving into The Forgotten Son, a tale of betrayal and redemption. Ethan's journey from betrayal to freedom was epic, right? That festival showdown showed what it means to stand tall and choose yourself. His stories about breaking free from toxic ties and saying yes to your dreams. Have you felt like Ethan, giving too much to people who don't see you? Find your pebble, something to remind you of your worth. Share your thoughts below. What hit you hardest? Ever had to set boundaries like Ethan? Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more inspiring stories. Share this with someone who needs it. Let's spread Ethan's vibe. Keep shining, keep growing, and know you're enough. See you next time.